I'm Dee Brown. I'm the studio head and founder of Beenox. The Amazing Spider-Man game is actually the next evolution in the Spider-Man series that has been developed by Beenox. A couple of years ago we did Spider-Man Shared Dimensions, and we've asked the team after that project, like, what's going to be the next big thing, the next big innovation for Spider-Man, and the Amazing Spider-Man game is their answer to that. The Amazing Spider-Man game this time around is bringing back Manhattan, so that's something that's it's pretty big, and that has not been done for 4 years so far, since the Spider-Man Web of Shadows actually. So we've been, fans have been asking that for a couple of years, but and we did listen to the fans, but we wanted to bring them like a really new and evolved Manhattan. So we've actually redeveloped huge chunks of our technology just to be able to deliver what you're going to see on the screen. You're going to have free roaming in Manhattan, of course, and a lot of side missions to do and explore Manhattan. But we're also giving you a lot of indoor levels to explore. So we feel that sometimes, because story is so important in our game, we sometimes feel that parts of the story are best told in an environment where we can really craft the narrative in a particular way. And the indoor environments also actually provides us in a very unique twist on Spider-Man abilities. So you're going to be able to use the web rush abilities, for example, to like do stealth takedowns. You're going to be able to interact with various environmental objects and really like have all those little pockets of gameplay and have like multiple choices on how you approach them in a more, if you want to approach it in a more stealthy way, more aggressive way, and we're going to all those things are going to really introduce a very different pacing in a game that I think is going to really feel really fresh. So Web Rush is actually this incredible new feature that we're bringing for the first time in the Amazing Spider-Man game. The Web Rush will allow you to have unprecedented level of control on Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is all about navigation. He can pull incredible stunts. He cannot go from point A to point B like anybody else. He will always do that in a spectacular fashion. So Web Rush is a tool that allows you to have this level of control over your character. So at any time in the game, anywhere in Manhattan, in an indoor level, within a boss fight, anytime, anywhere, by the simple press of the Web Rush button, you'll slow down time, and you will be presented with a variety of situational choices that are based on what you see at the screen at the time. Some of them will be navigational choices, so you will be able to quickly pick a destination to go to, and the game will calculate in real time what's between you and where you want to go, and will generate an animation that will get you there in a parkour style inspired fashion, like very spectacular. But some of those choices are also going to be combat choices or aggressive choices. So the Amazing Spider-Man game is obviously based on the movie of the same name, but we really wanted this game to be a game that stands on its own, just not be your classic movie game. So right at the beginning of the production, actually, we've met with Mark Webb and his crew over at Sony. We've also met with the Marvel guys to really get the feeling of the movie universe that we wanted to reproduce in our game, but we wanted to have as much creative freedom as possible. So we've actually set the story of the game after the events of the movie. So that allowed us to do all sort of new creative things. For example, bring characters that are not in the movie, such as Rhino, and Rhino, which is a really well-known Marvel villain. But this time around, we have to, because it's set in a new universe, we have to rewrite his origin story. And Marvel and Sony have been incredible in letting us do all those new creative stuff in the game. We just announced the pre-order bonuses for the Amazing Spider-Man game. One of them is the Rhino Challenge, which is really, really cool. You actually get to play as Rhino, and as you run through the streets of Manhattan in a kind of a rampage, and you have cars flying everywhere and everything, and you have various challenges to do as you are playing with Rhino. Another very cool pre-order bonus is the Play as Stanley bonus. So Stanley, for those who I can think of someone who possibly doesn't know that, but in case you don't, Stan Lee is the creator of Spider-Man, and so we are actually giving him a digital life. So he's going to be playable for the first time ever in a video game. So you're going to be able to swing in Manhattan and everything as Stan Lee, as the man himself.
Is it to be one of us? To make the darkness your own? To feast on the souls of the living